I've talked about the importance for preparing for tough times, having enough food and supplies, getting out of debt, being self-reliant. When Time magazine posts an article, Impending Crisis, Earth to run out of food by 2050.
My administration's been closely monitoring the situation in Egypt.
With the world in a state of civil unrest, when cities are full of protesters in the streets, when governments are collapsing, what is the most important subject that should be brought to the table? Food. Many articles showing increasing food costs during the end of 2010 and the beginning of 2011 paint a gloomy picture of the world food market. Like any market, there are ups and downs. The price of wheat, for instance, peaked in March 2008, before the crash of 2008. It had then declined until June 2010, where it is now in an upward swing. Corn, coffee, beef, and nearly all other commodities are going up in price. The question is, how do we predict the future? The best indicator for future trends is past trends. So, according to history, using a fiat measuring stick, food prices are set to keep inflating. This does not necessitate a crisis, however. One thing to consider for us in the United States is that the dollar is slowly being dethroned from its position as the world's reserve currency, which it has held since around 1944. Inflation has ate at the dollar for as long as the Federal Reserve has been the U.S. Central Bank, which started in 1913. In 1907, a box of Kellogg's Corn Flakes cost 10 cents. By 1960, 8 ounces was 27 cents. 1985, $1.09 for 18 ounces. Today, it will cost you at least $2.99. Having a central bank, inflation is a given in today's society. What may necessitate a crisis is the rate of inflation that we could see. In the last couple of years, the Federal Reserve has gone on a printing spree, creating over $1 trillion digital US dollars. Additional factors such as the price of oil will only add to food inflation, as oil is used for every aspect of agriculture, including production, transportation, and even for creating food storage containers. Documentaries such as The End of Suburbia attempt to prove that the production of oil may have peaked or will peak soon. World population, however, is not peaking, and without increased food production, we should see food price inflation simply from population growth. World population is set to hit 7 billion by the next year. The U.S. consumes 21 million barrels of oil per day. According to Bloomberg, the Suez Canal and Suez Mediterranean pipeline move 2.1 million barrels a day, the equivalent of 10% of the United States' daily oil consumption. And where is the Suez Canal? Egypt. February 11th, 2011. Mubarak steps down amid mass protests from his 30-year position as president. Only the future can tell what will become of Egypt and control of the Suez Canal. Droughts, floods, and other natural disasters also help to increase global food costs. In recent years, food inflation has been hitting worldwide.
Some economists have warned food inflation in Britain could hit 11% by October. It's currently 2.5%.
The price of produce in China is rising so quickly that everyday items like an apple or a bag of carrots have become too expensive for average Chinese people living on small salaries.
Recently, the World Bank president announced that food prices have hit dangerous levels. The bank says that in its new report, food prices have jumped 29% in just the past year. The World Bank estimates that higher prices for corn, wheat, and oil have pushed 44 million people into extreme poverty since last June. What's more scary than not being able to afford to feed your family? Many ordinary Americans and citizens worldwide are in fear of global corporations, such as Monsanto, who is attempting to take over the entire world food supply by creating and patenting genetically modified foods, GMOs. Despite some known health risks, many people also claim GMO foods do not offer the same nutritional value as their organic counterparts. Complaints of Monsanto's genetically modified seeds contaminating small farms And Monsanto suing these small farms for having their patented seeds without permission seems to spell a grim future for organic and small farmers and food in general. Imagine if one corporation or government owned the genetic code for all seeds and food production in the world. The people could only eat what this company or government decided they could, and at their set prices. What is the solution? Turn back to localized farms and sharing healthy, organic, grown food locally with those around you to prepare for the upcoming inflationary crisis. Visit FutureMoneyTrends.com for our most recent list of food storage companies and current articles regarding the coming food crisis.